Okay. What the fuck? Game genres are crazy things. As much as we like to categorize things as a kind of shorthand to quickly tell us what something is, often enough a strict definition is not enough to give the full breadth of a piece of media. While publishers might always look for the safety of clearly defined genres in order to shift a product, the same isn't always true for the devs that actually work on a given project. Take the case of Takuro Fujiwara, for example. Hired originally as a game designer by Capcom in the 80s, he ended up directing popular arcade games like Ghosts and Goblins and Bionic Commando. Heading into the 90s, he became a producer, becoming one of the main producers for the Mega Man series, including the legendary Mega Man X. This guy's pedigree is rock solid. By the late 90s, however, Fujiwara's motivation at Capcom was running thin. Producing so many sequels and external IP games was taking its toll, and he wanted to create more unique, original games, something that just wasn't possible at Capcom at the time. The last game he would produce for Capcom was Resident Evil. Now, I know what you're thinking, that was surely an original game, right? Capcom hadn't worked on a game like Resident Evil before, right? Right? Well, wrong, because for Fujiwara, Resident Evil was a remake of his 1989 game Sweet Home, a horror RPG in which a film crew explored a mansion. So, following Resident Evil's release, Fujiwara resigned and formed Whoopee Camp, who started development on their debut game. That game was Tomba, or Tumbi if you're in Europe. Turns out Tomba is just Italian for tomb.
Tomba. Tomba.
Releasing in North America in 1998, this one is a bit of a weird one to classify. Steam classifies it simply as action, but other sources say it's an action-adventure platformer. I've seen arguments say that it both is and isn't a Metroidvania, but it does have non-linear exploration and item or ability-based area gating. There are some light RPG elements, with the health system very similar to something like Zelda. It also borrows mechanics from adventure games, in particular the take an item and rub it on everything in the game logic puzzles that 90s adventure games are infamous for, so I think it's safe to say that, if nothing else, Fujiwara had succeeded in creating his own unique game. The story in Tomba is pretty straightforward, but also completely its own unique thing. You play as this feral child called Tomba. Hey, he looks like a Saiyan. One day he sees these pigs shaking down some poor farmers and intervenes, only to get knocked out and have his grandfather's golden bracelet stolen. We're dropped into the village of all beginnings and away we go. There's a lot going on in this starting area. Right away there's some enemies, but oh, Tomba. Well, needless to say, they're easily dispatched. We get a few events, what this game calls quests, that can be completed straight away, like giving Charles the monkey some bananas. There's also some other intriguing things around here. Right here at the start, we can jump right into the background. Oh yeah, use that sweet, sweet 2.5D. There are doors that we can't open yet, different colored chests that we can't open, an area we can't pass because we're told we can't swim yet, and an NPC that asks me to find him later on in the game. There's this thing? And hey, why do these rocks change color when I jump on them? Holy shit, I swear to God this is going to be relevant later. Completing events gives AP, or Adventurers points, and defeating enemies gives you one of 3 different kinds of XP, but neither of these actually matter. Well, most of the time at least. As we move forward through the level, we eventually encounter the 100-year-old man. After acquiring a number of baby birds for him that we return by vomiting them on his floor, he tells us that there are 7 evil pigs and that they've come and cast a spell that has mutated the land and that they've stolen our grandfather's bracelet. He gives us the 100-year-old key so that we can open his chests and then opens the way to the dwarf forest. But hey, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We've got chests to go back and loot with our new key. But once we've gotten our loot, it's on to the forest. It's here we encounter a dwarf, but he seems to speak a different language. So we do the one thing our feral child knows how to do. We mount and bite the dwarf. And doing this 4 times teaches us his language. Awesome, we're a language vampire. Being the social ladder climber that we are, next we want to meet with the dwarf elder. In order to do so, we're first asked to find and free the dwarven hunting party that went missing. Backtracking through the forest, we find all 6 dwarves stuck in various spores, as well as this puppy that somehow ends up in the tree. It's okay though, we bring the puppy, who we name Baron, to a healer in the dwarven village. She asks us to get some healing herbs from Phoenix Mountain. Well, we'll have to worry about that later, because now we're told a child is also missing. So, after getting sniped by this crab enemy in the watchtower, we find the missing child and bring him home. We're brought in to see the dwarf elder, and as we stand awkwardly in the doorway, he gives us the blue evil pig bag. This bag is used to seal the evil pigs away, as well as revealing the evil pig gate, a gate to the evil pig's evil dimension. There's 1 bag per pig, so we've got to find 6 more bags if we want to seal all the pigs away. With this knowledge in our greasy mitts, we can head past the Dwarven Forest and onto Phoenix Mountain. Well, we could, except there's a dwarf blocking our route who wants to be an actor, and so he needs to learn how to smile and how to cry. Clearly, as a feral child, we are the perfect acting coach, so we decide to teach him. And how do we teach him? We head to the Mushroom Forest and consume a number of mood-altering mushrooms, of course. Once we've taught this dwarf how to be an emotional train wreck like ourselves, we head on to the Phoenix Mountain, where the Dwarf Elder is waiting for us. He tells us that the thing we just felt was the Storm Pig's evil, and that it means that the mountain is under a pig's spell. I nod in silent agreement, barely holding it together under the weight of psychotropic mushrooms that I've just consumed. Who is this Santa man, and what does he want? Leaving our emotional trip behind, we start a physical trip, up the mountain, where we encounter these tiny cowboys that let us know there is an actual phoenix at the top of the mountain that might give us a lift somewhere. We also encounter Charles the monkey again, who has torn his pants and needs a replacement. So, we fight the winds, pigs, and these stone mountain gators, and also find the healing herbs for Baron. Eventually we reach the Phoenix. However, the Phoenix seems to be old and weak, and the flight is short-lived, dropping us in Bacchus village at the foot of the mountain. Hey, this is where the tiny cowboys live. Except they aren't just tiny cowboys, they're mice. They're actually humans, but they were turned into mice by an evil pig, you know, the usual. And turns out that the mouse bodies aren't big or strong enough to maintain human equipment, and so the pump that provides wine to the village is broken, and it's up to us to go fix it. I don't know where they're pumping wine from exactly, but at this point I'm too afraid to ask. Once we've completed this task, we're rewarded with a blue chest that we can't open. But we also gain access to the Haunted Mansion, a confusing 3D area with multiple sides and doors. The 1,000-year-old man can be found here, but he's trapped behind fire, so we have to go and destroy every egg in the mansion in order to destroy the giant magical egg that is holding him hostage. Of course. Having freed the 1,000-year-old man, he gives us his 1,000-year-old key by inserting it into our face, and no, that is not a euphemism. We can open the blue chest now. Nice. His key isn't the only one here though. 5 parts of a key can be found in various areas of the mansion that combine into the large key. This is needed for a door in the mansion where we find the pink evil pig bag, and a door on the mountain that has the red evil pig bag. Also, with the 1,000-year-old key, we can return to Bacchus village and get the orange evil pig bag from the reward chest we couldn't open. We've got 4 of the 7 pig bags now. We should probably start hunting for some of these evil pig gates. I return to the dwarf forest to drop off the healing herbs for Baron. While he's healing, the healer is a bit hungry and asks you to go get her a little bit of food. And by a little bit of food, she means a fruit from the tree of knowledge. We can't get that yet, so we continue our search for the pig gates. I find the first one in an area that I hadn't visited yet called Charity Square, here in the dwarf forest. The gate just appears when you're nearby. I have my little melee weapon, but I don't really know what to expect from a boss fight. But hey, let's jump in and find out. Oh my god. No health bar, you don't even need to deal any damage. You just need to jump on the boss at the right time and throw him into the moving pig bag. Yeah, there's some spikes, but with some clever placement, hell yeah. Awesome, that's the storm pig down. And the mountain wind is gone. This lets me go back and finish clearing out the mountain. However, there's a new problem now. The fire cavern at the end of the mountain is blocked off. We do find the green evil pig bag here, but we're going to have to locate another evil pig gate to get through this place. The next pig is found back in the haunted mansion, through one of the doors that requires you to laugh. Luckily, by this point, we have a special reusable mushroom from the mushroom forest to gain laughing or crying status at will, as well as another reusable mushroom to remove it again. And yeah, those might sound pretty crazy, but who the hell is creating doors that only open to psychoactively heightened emotional states? Anyway, inside this door is the fire pig, and yeah, it's the same as before. Different arena, bag moves differently, but hey, he doesn't last long and the caverns get cleared. Nice! So we head back to the caverns and, using the parasol we got from helping Charles, and the grappling hook from a blue chest under the cavern's entrance, we navigate some of the trickier platforming in the game. There are a number of key items here too. The bunk flower, of which we'll need 5 of for later, but there's also the next evil pig gate. This one is the ghost pig, and once we've bagged and tagged him, that's the haunted mansion returned to normal. Is it weird that the grass just turns back to roof tiles? Continuing through the caverns, we get to the other side and encounter the phoenix again. Feeding it the bunk flowers gives it back some strength. Honestly, I was expecting the phoenix to die and give birth to a new one, but hey, look, this works too. So now we can fly to the next area, the Mazakari jungle. The jungle is a nightmare for the platforming, but mercifully, it's short. The opening section has you try to navigate past these tribal dudes, the Mazakari. Their drums alter jumping awkwardly, making it tricky to pass them, and they jump at the most inconvenient of times. And if you happen to wander into one of their cages, well, yeah, should have seen that coming. There's an NPC in the background here who asks us to find his hat. Exploring the jungle will have us meet Charles the monkey again. Charles is looking for a drink and gives us a hat, which we return to the NPC at the start, giving us access to the village of civilization. Before we enter, however, if we climb the nearby tree, we see the next pig gate, and inside it is the mouse pig. The mouse pig? I didn't think their names were taken so literally. With the mouse pig bagged, the mouse people in Bacchus village return to their human forms. Hooray! We've got more pressing matters though. We need to find a drink for this monkey. When you enter the village of civilization, there's only one way to go, and that's into the clock tower, where our NPC buddy is. In a stunning display of violence, he shows us how to make banana juice, which we give to Charles. In return, he teaches us one of the most useful skills in the game, swimming. And with this skill, now we've got some more backtracking to do, but first, if we head off to the right here, we come across... Oh damn, it's the Tree of Knowledge! We get the fruit for the dwarf healer, and the tree requests that we go and stand on every pump rock throughout the world, which, if you're like me, you did as you went, and... Oh, that's cathartic. Hell yeah. Anyway, it's back to the dwarf healer. Here, take your knowledge fruit. Byrne is coming along nicely now, but she needs some seaweed. This one's not too hard though. If we return to the mushroom forest and head out to the left, we end up on the coast with the NPC from the start who wouldn't let us pass unless we were able to swim. Well hey, this time he has a boat and graciously brings us to the other side where we find the seaweed and... Hey, that's the mansion from the start of the game. So we return to the healer and finally, Baron is back at full strength. And Baron can fly us anywhere in the game that we've been to already. Because of course the dog can fly. Why did I expect anything less? It's actually pretty great though, because up until this point we had to use the consumable charity wings, which are limited in number. Baron is reusable and he makes backtracking so much easier. After looting a whole bunch of new items, we head back to the village of civilization. There wasn't a lot to do here before, but now our NPC buddy wants us to turn the power back on. Yes, a wild feral child is exactly the kind of expert I would expect to be able to turn on complicated machinery. The same kid who enters this technological marvel and loots their berries first. That's the guy I want to repair things. One of the guys in the factory tells you that if you want to get into the room where the generator is, you'll need a bomb, and that he disguised one as a coconut and hid it in the highest tree in the jungle. You know what, I take it back. This feral child might actually be more qualified than this lot. You grab the bomb, arm it at the door, and enter the generator room and turn it on. And your reward is a key to be used in the old pond back in the starting area. We head back to the old pond and the key opens the door to Trick Village. There's not a lot we can do here yet as most of the village is underwater, but if we jump in this chimney we encounter the 10,000-year-old man. Before he helps us, he wants us to collect the math beads located around Trick Village, but that we'll need to learn how to dive first. There's apparently a mermaid at the haunted mansion that can teach us, but we need to return her necklace, which is conveniently located just outside the 10,000-year-old man's house. So, we head over to the mansion, we find the mermaid, we learn how to dive. We fly back to Trick Village, dive underwater, and find the beads, return them to the 10,000-year-old man, who finally gives us the 10,000-year-old key, as well as some trick wire. And with the 10,000-year-old key in hand, we can finally get the last 2 pig bags. One is located in Trick Village in an underwater chest, and the other one is near the old tree in the jungle. Awesome! Now we just need to find the final gates. The first one is actually back where we found the seaweed. There's a door under the mansion that only opens once you have the right pig bag. We head there and bag the pig and cleanse the jungle. That's 5 out of 7 now, we're almost there. At this point I decided to rove around and complete some side objectives. In particular, a dwarf back in Charity Square had told me that if I put blue powder on a red flower, it would turn it blue, and then red and blue combined into something. And I happened to have blue powder on me from riding the leaf slider from Charity Square, so I gave it a go and... Holy shit, Ultra Instinct? It makes so much sense, of course Tomba is a Saiyan, just look at him! If only Vegeta knew he could get this kind of power from a mushroom. I wanna! With my legendary divine technique in hand, I found the 6th pig in the clock tower of the village of civilization. Bagging this pig cleansed the Trick Village so that it was no longer underwater. So, with the 6th pig down, that's just one more left to find. When we turned on the power in the village of civilization, it activated an elevator in the watchtower of the dwarf forest. Heading there, we're brought to the final area of the game, the underground maze. The maze is... well, not really much of a maze. It's more like a slightly bigger isometric cave. You need the trick wire that the 10,000-year-old man gave you, but it breaks after one use. To traverse the entire thing, you're going to have to find some unbreakable wire. Has no one down here ever heard of using keys? One of the nearby diggers tells you that their buddy had one at the haunted mansion, and well, what's this? A shortcut to the haunted mansion? Don't mind if I do. Kinda pointless with Baron, but hey, I appreciate the thought. You find the digger, he gives you the wire, and you head back to the maze where you encountered the 1,000,000-year-old man. Damn, he must really make the other elder dudes feel like a bit inconsequential, huh? Not only do you find the 1,000,000-year-old man and his 1,000,000-year-old key, you also find the final pig gate located conveniently in his room. This one is activated by the very first pig bag we got from the dwarf elder way back near the start of the game, and bagging this pig cleanses the dwarf forest. Nice! With all 7 pigs defeated, we're teleported to the strange small room in the underground maze and given a super secret 8th pig bag. There's a door here, but all 7 pigs, who up until now had conveniently been turned to stone, fly away, closing the door and taunting us. The million-year-old man hatches a plan for you to find 7 friends to help open the door so that we can defeat the real evil pig. We could probably just put some rocks on those switches, but okay, I'm going. Returning to the various towns we've helped, we find NPCs that we've never seen before, but are willing to help us. There's one in the Dwarf village, one in Bacchus village, one in the Haunted Mansion, and 3 from the different parts of the Village of Civilization. But wait, that's only 6. While yes, this is true, the 7th friend has been with us for quite a while now. It's Baron, our flying dog buddy, who we nursed back to health. So with all 7 friends in hand, we open the way to the final evil pig. Wow, look at this guy. So, amidst all the gold that the pigs have stolen, you finally do battle with the ultimate pig evil. It's actually quite a bit trickier than the previous pigs, as you need to jump at the right time as he's materializing in, or otherwise you'll just take damage, or he'll just disappear. But hey, you're a pro pig bagger by this point, and he does not last long at all. With the final evil pig defeated, his evil island starts to crumble, and our good buddy Baron flies us out of there. The elders congratulate us on our tenacity, and then we return to being a random feral boy living in the wilderness. Tomba is a crazy fever dream of a game. There are so many side quests and weird interactions in this game that if I was to mention everything here, this video would be a hell of a lot longer. There's also quite a healthy amount of jank in the game, like the platforming can be weird and jumping on some enemies just feels like a crapshoot sometimes. Some of those fetch quests as well, particularly towards the end, just felt like so much padding. It's quite clear the parts of the game were fairly rushed. For instance, when the witch gives you the quest to make gold candy, most of the ingredients are just hanging out in the underground maze when they really felt like they should have been related to other events. Or these weird slabs that are found throughout the game, they just never have any use, and I completed all 130 events the game has to offer, and nothing even gives a hint about them. It was just about popular enough to spawn a sequel, and a 3rd game had been planned, but changing trends in gaming kinda canned it. The game got a special edition that released in 2024, featuring a remastered soundtrack and the ability to rewind the game for a certain amount of time. The original save system was changed to a more modern one, but only featured 3 save slots. That's the version I played, and it's available mostly everywhere, but the original version is easily available via emulation too. If what I read is correct, emulation is probably the best way to play it, but honestly I was fine with the remaster. Overall, the game was fun, and I don't regret the 13-ish hours I spent with it. It's maintained a cult following over the years, and if you like weird, cutesy Metroidvania platformers, I highly suggest giving it a go. Although, I guess I just spoiled the whole thing, huh? Well hey, there's a lot of side quests I didn't go into, and there's the sequel. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment telling me about any weird Metroidvanias you enjoy, and hey, if you've got any friends that might enjoy my content, feel free to share it around. I'm trying to grow the channel to a point where this might be something I can start to make a living off, so all help is very much appreciated. Anyway, catch you in the next one.